It is a major tourist road. It is one of the best tourist roads in Western Australia, and that's forgotten in amongst all the talk about diverting traffic. Now, it really applies to you people. If you're living in the suburbs of South Perth, if you're living in North Perth, if you're living in the western suburbs, and then it extends even further out to places like Midland, etc. If you're trying to get into town or around through town, it is going to become impossible.
Surely there must be a public outcry with such destruction of our city's greatest asset. Well, there has been. Over 13,000 of us signed a petition asking Mr Barnett to rethink this project and not reduce our city road access to a parking lot. 13,000, Mr Barnett doesn't even give it a thought. That's not even consideration for him. There must be a better plan for our city. It's not too late to stop this poorly thought out destruction of Perth's waterfront, our city's greatest asset. So you've got to all make a noise.
When I was a teenager, I have such strong recollections of the broadcasting of the American landing on the moon. And I remember there was a saying in that really struck with me, and it's been used for decades ever since. And it was, "Houston, we have a problem." And I want to say to you today, Perth, we have a problem. And it has two components. The first problem is the madness associated with the desire to cut Riverside Drive. The second problem is the madness associated with a Premier who doesn't know how to be a leader and negotiate, or how to change his position. But the $50 million that's been spent there at the moment, that's got nothing to do with diverting it or digging the inlet. And it's not necessarily wasted. It's decontaminated the park site, it improved the jetties, it built another road, so it's not entirely wasted. So draw a line under it and say, okay, this has all been done, but we will not go on and cut Riverside Drive.
A better plan can result with heritage incorporated, trees replanted and the kiosk rebuilt. The MRA website says that there is a $200 million contract for the inlet and surrounds in the preliminary discussion stage with shortlisted tenderers. This contract can be stopped. All here can become politically active in the lead up to the state election. Question and lobby your parliamentarians, be they Liberals, Labor, Green or Independent. Get information, inform yourselves, spread the message. Target all candidates for the next election, especially the independents who will not have closed minds. Put your faith in and vote for the independents. The state election is on March the 9th. Make March the 9th Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along for today's rally. It's terrific to see so many people who are concerned about their community along here today. I've heard some very good arguments from the speakers who have preceded me, who have set out some of the issues involved, and in particular the technical issues surrounding traffic flow management through not just the city of Perth, but also surrounding suburbs. And it's not just an issue for the inner city. A lot of people think it will just be an issue in the city of Perth, which of course it will be, and which John Hyde has been taking up. It will be an issue in Mount Lawley, it will be an issue in Nedlands, it will be an issue in Balcatta, it will be an issue in South Perth, Victoria Park, Belmont and the like. Because people will take other routes when they are transiting through the city from whichever direction, and of course that will cause traffic congestion in those areas surrounding the city. It is incredibly important that we get this right, and I don't think there has been sufficient consideration of all those issues of traffic flow that will impact on surrounding suburbs and the middle of Perth, and I think that there hasn't been enough examination of those issues or taking into account of all of the things that have been put forward by various people. If the Premier and the government had real courage, what they would do right now is cut off Riverside Drive. And if they cut off Riverside Drive right now and showed the people of Western Australia what would happen, then people would be able to go to March next year. Then people would be able to go to March next year and make an informed decision about what is going on the foreshore of Perth. As one of your earlier speakers pointed out, debt in Western Australia, public debt paid by every single citizen in this state, has increased 4 years ago, over the last 4 years, from $3.6 billion to $14.5 billion now, and predicted to go to $18 billion by June 30 next year. That is a 500% increase in debt over 4.5 years. That is extraordinary by anyone's estimation, and part of the reason for that massive increase in debt is the fact that there is a $550 million bill attached to this project. This is at exactly the same time as anyone who gets around the suburbs and towns of Western Australia will see there are priorities everywhere not being met. We see in the paper daily issues to do with cancer treatment of children in our hospitals. We see in the paper daily issues to do with law and order around our suburbs and towns. We see the cost of living increases being imposed on ordinary families around Western Australia. And for me, what you have to do when you're in state government is get your priorities right and make sure when you spend public money, you spend it on things that matter to people. And for me, that is what is missing in this debate. So there are two major issues for me. What will happen with traffic on Riverside Drive, and also all of the issues surrounding what are the proper and appropriate priorities for a state government when you're spending taxpayers' money.
Could I just make mention of the fact I've looked and I can't see anybody from the Liberal Party or even the National Party. I would have thought Brendan or somebody might come down here and help out, but maybe the city's not really of much interest. If you just come up so we could, everybody can see where everybody is. There we go. Kevin Morgan, Wayne Monk, Greg Ross and Max Hipkins. Could I just say thank you very much. We are the ones who bring pressure to bear on the major parties. If we are elected, then you people have a voice to say, we're not beholden to any party, we want to do the right thing by the voters, by the ordinary person. And that's where the value is in electing the four of us in our different electorates. All right, again, if you just see the four of us, you can talk to us after the rally. Thank you very much.
The thing about that is they're just good grassroots people who are going to represent their communities, and they're going to get this city back to the point where we have good city planning. Now, just to finish off here, this rally is this is the signal of the beginning of the next few months leading up to the election, when we are really going to be pushing this issue about not diverting Riverside Drive. That's the single issue we're going to be pushing. And we all must convince the Liberal Party. You must do everything you can. Got to convince. And we'll keep trying as much not to sign this contract and not to divert Riverside Drive. It's so desperately important. Forget about all the other issues. This is the one that really counts. So you can go to the parliamentary website. It's very easy, very accessible. All the email addresses are there, and you can keep bombarding them, keep emailing them, go and talk to them, and get all your friends and colleagues to do so. And you'll find that eventually you'll probably get the message through.